Before I start the video, I just want to let you guys know that I created a new YouTube channel. So if you guys want videos that have more sauce, that is not edited, it's a little bit more long form content, I would say go check it out. On top of that, we are rebranding my whole brand as a whole. So obviously with this channel, it's called Brand Jewelry Co. So we're probably going to change the name to Brand EDU Academy or to something else. So if you guys see a difference in name change, anything like that, just please be understanding of that. I do understand that I have not been posting on this channel a lot, which I do apologize for. I will start posting more. I just been focused on my other channel and my clients, my other brands, etc. So that is pretty much it. Let's get into the video. In this video, I'm going to be explaining how much money it costs to start a clothing brand in 2024. I'm literally going to show you guys all the numbers, everything you need to know. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is the basics. So these are basics that you need to have for your clothing brand. So this includes the website. So for example, the Shopify subscription, it's around $50 a month. You also need to buy a domain for your website. You need to buy Photoshop, which is like $200. Email and SMS marketing, you have to make an account, as well as they usually make you pay an annual or monthly fee. You also have to pay for a professional email. If we do the math, it's going to cost around $200, which isn't really that bad for all the basics. Next, we have supplies. So these supplies include poly mailers, size stickers, scales, thermal printers, shipping labels, everything like that. You obviously need supplies because if you don't have supplies, you can't really ship out orders because you don't have a poly mailer, you don't have a printing or thermal printer or any labels that actually print the label on like a paper and they tape it on. I really don't recommend it. It's a waste of time. I used to do that a very long time ago, but I realized that spending $100 on a thermal printer is way worth it compared to cutting up an A4 piece of paper and taping it onto a poly mailer. So usually most of these expenses are going to occur every single month. So you probably have to restock on poly mailers. You probably have to restock on shipping labels, size stickers, but I'm just going to assume that you buy it once and just lasts forever. So if we do the math, it's going to cost around $300 for the supplies. So I just talked about the basics and the supplies, and we're already at $500, and a lot of people want to start a clothing brand with $500, which really does not make sense. Next, we have the manufacturers. So I'm gonna assume that you order from 2 different manufacturers, which is, oh, we got a Shopify notification coming out. So the reason why you want to order from at least 2 different manufacturers is because when you're first starting out, you don't know whether the quality is good or not, right? So you want to order from 2 different manufacturers, make sure that the quality is good, and you want to work with a manufacturer that has the best quality and the best price. But the only way that you will actually know if they have good quality is if you actually order from all of them, right? Which is the reason why I usually recommend people order from at least 5 different manufacturers if you have the budget, but I'm just gonna say 2 because let's say you're on a very tight budget. So you order a sample of a shirt and a hoodie, and usually it costs around $200 if you order a shirt and a hoodie for a sample. Next, we have the bulk order. I'm gonna give you the price range for both shirts and hoodies. So for example, if you order a shirt, you have to order at least 50. That's usually the MOQ for most manufacturers. If you have a pretty basic design, so it's basic screen print, a basic DTG design on a shirt, it should cost around $1,000 for 50 shirts. If you order hoodies, like I said, if it's like a basic design, it should cost around $1.5 to $2,000 for a bulk order hoodie for 50 quantity pieces. So let's just say you decide to drop a shirt, so you buy the bulk order for the shirt, that is $1,000 around, give or take. So already in total we are at $2,000 for the amount spent. Next, we have influencer marketing. And let's just say that you send it out to 10 influencers, which again is not that necessary, but let's just say you send it out to 10 different influencers that are in your niche, including the product cost and the shipping cost. It should cost around $200 in total. Next, we have running ads. I'm going to be honest, this depends on your budget and how expensive your products are. Obviously, if you have a $100 product, it's going to be way harder to sell than a $30 product. But assuming that you sell shirts, I would say around $300 to $500 for ad spend is a pretty good amount to have every single month. So if we do the math, up to now we have $2,700 in total. And finally, we have information. So I think a lot of people don't realize that they are starting a brand new business in a brand new industry they know nothing about, and they somehow think that they're gonna fucking prosper. And like, you guys don't have to worry, because I was also that delusional when I first started out my clothing brand. But you guys have to understand, there's people out there that are paying for information and you're competing against them, and you guys have to just realize that you guys don't know what you're doing. This is a brand new business, a brand new industry you know nothing about, and the easiest method to get more information and to get to know what to do is literally just hire somebody or join a program, join a course, whatever the case may be. Obviously for this I can't really put a price tag because, you know, everybody's courses and programs differ. Some of them are expensive, some of them are cheap, but if we do the math with everything, it should cost around $3,000 in order to start your clothing brand from scratch. And mind you, everything that I just mentioned, this is the basics that you need to pay for. So obviously with everything else like Shopify, you have to pay $50 every single month. You have to restock on your poly mailers every single month. Like there's a lot of bills that you have to pay for every single month, and I'm not even including that. But mind you, at this point, if you have everything set up, you should start getting sales rolling in. So if you're spending money on ads, if you're sending out to influencers, you should have sales start coming in. So it should kind of cancel out everything that you paid for. So one thing I will say is that everything that I just listed that you need to buy is replaceable except for the basics and the supplies. So what does this mean? This means that everything excluding the basics and the supplies you can replace. So for example, with Photoshop, you don't need to buy Photoshop. You can just use some free software that is trash. But the way I look at it is you're gonna pay for Photoshop anyways down the line. Might as well get it in the beginning and just make better designs from the get-go. Or even sending products to influencers. You don't need to send out your products to influencers. You can try the organic method. You don't need to run ads. You can just try everything by yourself and try to somehow get sales. But what you guys have to realize is that if you guys don't pay for what I listed, so let's say you don't want to pay for ads or you don't want to pay for influencer marketing, you have to replace it with something else, and that is usually time. So for example, if you don't want to spend money on resources, you want to do everything by yourself, and I'm gonna be honest, there is a lot of resources online, so you can do everything by yourself if you really want to. The only difference is the fact that you have to replace it with time and energy. So because you are first starting out with a brand new business model, you don't know anything about the industry, you have to replace it with time and energy. So you have to do more research, you have to do more trial and error. And I think a lot of people don't realize this, but you're gonna end up losing more money if you try to do everything by yourself, because you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, you're gonna spend a lot of money on ads, you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna lose a lot of money because you think you're doing something right when in reality you're doing it wrong. And it's quite interesting because a lot of my clients are clients that actually first start off trying to do everything by themselves, and they realize that it's way too much work. I mean, you guys have to understand, when you start a clothing brand, you have to do everything by yourself. You have to do the marketing yourself, you have to make the designs, you have to do customer service, ship it out. There's so many things that you have to do, and if you don't know what you're doing and you're trying a bunch of different things, you're gonna end up losing money anyway. So why not just pay somebody, and you're gonna make the money back if you pay somebody, I promise you. And this is where my little self promo comes in. But like for example, with me, I guarantee that you make at least $2,000 in sales, so you have nothing to lose if you work with me. But it doesn't even have to be me, it could be another clothing brand owner that's successful. If you work with them, because they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, I promise you, you're not gonna lose the money that you invest, and you're actually gonna make way more, and you're gonna save a lot of time. But that is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, if you guys do want to work with me, I guarantee that you make at least $2,000 in sales with your clothing brand. It doesn't matter where you're at with your brand. You could run your brand for 6 months, 5 years, 0 months. You could just be starting out. It doesn't really matter where you're at. I will help you. Obviously, you need to give me money in return, but like I said, I guarantee you make 2K in sales anyway, so you have nothing to lose. But if you guys are interested, just go to my website. I have all the product pictures on the website. I also show you guys all the brands that I help start and grow, so you guys can literally search up the brand name on Instagram to make sure that they're a valid brand. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.